Kansas City Chiefs. They looked
Why
questionable
did you
during the
put
regular
Carson
season.
Wentz as a key addition?
I didn't even know they signed him.
I wanted to
That's
see
funny.
if that would. I wanted to see how what kind of reaction I would get.
Man,
But yeah, the Chiefs once again won the Super Bowl. We had our hopes that they wouldn't, but they went and won it again. And yeah, so great news, guys. They got better.
didn't they get McCall Hardman back?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, they got him back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't back when I put this together, but I was really torn on whether I wanted to put him at the key losses because in terms of that playoff game, the only reason why the Bills had a chance at that end of that game was because of McCole Hardman.
Justin, they signed him a month ago.
Gotta check my sources.
I guess this is what happens
old
when,
article.
when you got to work overtime and then also put the slides together.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, take it away.
They're gonna win the division again, unfortunately. I was okay. I mean, not really okay with them winning the division. I was just like, all right, but they're not good enough this past season to win the Super Bowl, and they showed it throughout large chunk of the year that they weren't as good. But then all of a sudden they go on a tear in the playoffs, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I really wish people would just play football because the teams they played against that were really good just decided to not play good. Like the Dolphins, yeah, the Dolphins had to go in the Kansas City when it was really cold, but that's not really an excuse to just not play to your full potential. The missing a team in there, I know. Bills, yeah, the Bills should have won that, but they decided to shit the bed themselves. And then I was like, okay, cool. You got the Ravens. You score a bunch of points. They're gonna beat them. They're gonna, yeah, all that, and then you. Just like, you got to be kidding me. Because I don't want to call it luck, but the way those games went in the AFC were more luck than skill. Even not a bad team, great team, obviously, but man. And then the Super Bowl, I'm like, okay, they won't win this one because the Niners aren't who they were back in 2019, the last time they played them. And then. Yeah, and then they didn't. Then the Niners didn't even know the overtime rules, and that was a shit show within itself. Like, I'll be honest, I was gonna not watch that game, but I was like, oh no, Nickelodeon's doing something cool with the Super Bowl. Let's watch it anyway. And I will
next year. I might have my daughter watch the Nickelodeon one next year. I'm trying to get her into football. So far, it's not going great.
It was I forgot. Oh man, I was going to add something. I'm so sorry. That's what it was. The only Super Bowl I haven't watched in my life was the one against was the Chiefs and the Bucks, and they lost. So I keep thinking about it every now and then. I'm like, man, if we just would have not watched the game, they would have lost.
Probably. As a Bengals fan, I can resonate with that. It seems like every time I watched a Bengals game, they lost, and every time I didn't, they ended up winning. But we're not gonna talk completely about the Bengals. Just I have to go on a little rant. I do want to say that the only one to dethrone the Chiefs in the AFC is the Bengals. The Bills haven't done it. The Ravens haven't done it. Bills missed their window. I do think the Ravens do have a chance to do it against the Chiefs if the Bengals don't do it first. Healthy Bengals squad can definitely take care of them, but I mean, the Chiefs are still going to be the favorites. I mean, they didn't lose a ton. They lost Snead and a couple other players, but it's not like, I feel like a lot of those players that they lost were replaceable, and I think they did a good job of replacing them. Justin, you forgot Ariza Matariza as the addition.
I'm so mad about that.
Like
all that went on, and then they just swoop him up into the Bills and drafted him.
Yeah, he's got a leg on him, but yeah, Chiefs are the Chiefs. They're gonna continue their working towards their dynasty, and if they win a third one, they're gonna be a historic team. So, I mean, there's not much else to say about them. They're not bad at all. They have a great coach, they have a great quarterback, and they have a lot of experience in the playoffs. So they're gonna be tough to beat, no matter what happens. Unless I'm not gonna try to jinx it here, but I mean, unless Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, I don't see them slowing down anytime
soon. Well, whenever he did get hurt in some of the previous seasons, they still won games. I was like, yes, we'll be able to catch them in the division race, and then they ended up winning anyway. With Matt Moore was one of them, I believe.
Yep.
Chad Henne
was one too. I'm like, motherfucker.
he's won playoff games for them. Like,
you have to remember, he was
during moments.
He was pretty good when he got drafted by the Jaguars. So
yeah, he played.
Now they have Carson Wentz to back him up.
Carson Wentz pretty good when he got drafted too. So maybe Carson Wentz can come in for a few games and throw the pill around.
So we talk about how everyone in their path literally collapsed on the way there. Have we reached the point where they are in the rest of the NFL's heads? When you have a lead against them, do you start to tighten up thinking, oh no, we don't want to let them come back, and then they come back? Do you think we've hit that point now where the Chiefs are pretty much in everyone's heads?
I think it started with the 13 seconds with the Bills. I think that showed.
Yeah. This has been a brutal episode for me, guys.
I think that just showed their potential. Like, it doesn't matter if you have the lead. Like, you might as well just put everybody on the goal line if there's 13 seconds left, and then wherever he's running, whoever has the ball, wherever they're running, you just make sure there's 2 rows of people to stop them from getting in. Like, that's the only way to stop them. So, yeah.
At the very least, for the Bills, Nicole Hardman's apparently back, because in that playoff game, I'm pretty sure Nicole Hardman was pretty much the Bills' defensive MVP.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like they made 2 stops the whole game on defense, and it was because Nicole Hardman fumbled it.
We're gonna stop torturing Kyle, and we can just get.
This has been torture for all of us. They've tormented the entire NFL. Yeah. So this is.
I think the most enjoyable thing for me was talking about Jim Harbaugh. I think that.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's a very small consolation. The Raiders were the last team to beat the Chiefs before they went on the tear at the end of the season, and then the playoffs. So.
I mean, they do have their number in the division, so.
And it's they're beatable. They really are, and teams have showed it. The Raiders have beat them with that team, and even the better teams they've had before. I want to say, I was thinking about this way earlier today too. I was like, one of the ways to beat them, of course, is make sure Mahomes doesn't have time to throw, hit him hard when you can. Sometimes he gets flags because who he is. But another one is out coaching. But then on the other side of that, it goes, it's hard to out coach someone like Andy Reid.
Yeah,
right.
It's doable because obviously when he was with the Eagles, he did great, but then collapsed in big games. And that was one of the bigger things before they won their Super Bowl. Will he win? He's been to Super Bowls and or championship games in general and just kept losing.
I think the biggest key to beating the Chiefs is time of possession.
Yeah, that's it. Keep it out of their hands. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I think the Chargers are going to be able to control the Chiefs this year if they follow the Jim Harbaugh path to success. Just run the ball, keep the clock moving, stay in bounds, and then Justin Herbert can do his thing if they're down. But I mean, like, that's the key. That's the main reason why teams keep losing to them because they keep giving them too much time. And Justin, 13 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but like, and I know the Bills wanted to score, but they honestly could have taken a little bit more time off the clock.
Yeah. Yeah. And then should have done the same thing this year, too, because Josh Allen wanted to go for the winning touchdown with like a minute left and missed it. And then we're kicking a field goal with like a minute left. It didn't matter that that kick was missed. I mean, we could probably talk about this in the Bills preview, but whatever. You got me on the rant now. It did not matter. It did not matter if that kick made or missed. The Bills lost that game. Because even if he made it, the Chiefs are going to march down and win the game with a field goal at the end. That game was over by the time they made that decision.
Pessimism Pete makes an appearance.
I mean, it is pessimism, but like the Chiefs make everyone pessimistic because that's just what they do. They go and just rip your hearts out at the end of the game because they're going to make the play. Like
I will have to say though,
out of the game.
And this has very little to do with football. I do have to say though, if they do win it, I hope a parade is a safer environment for Chiefs fans. What happened last year, there was no excuse for it. So for the like 20 people that usually watch these episodes, let's make society better. Let's make everyone better.